Something smells delicious in here.
Yeah, it does. I'm hungry. Jake, are you eating El Ranchito Taco Shop?
That looks amazing. What did you order?
Tacos.
What?
Guac.
Jake, are you choking? Get out of my way, Michael. He needs the Heimlich.
Oh my god, I cannot believe this is happening again. Jake, you know you're allergic to avocado. One generic allergy medication later. Are you okay?
Yeah. Almost dying is so worth it to have some El Ranchito creamy guac. Thanks, Eric, for trying to save me, even though I wasn't joking.
I know. I just wanted to get you from behind.
Well, I guess this is a good time to tell everybody that if you're ever in the Inland Empire and are craving some great Mexican food, visit El Ranchito Taco Shop in Lake Elsinore.
Seriously, I follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Ranchito Elsinore.
El Ranchito Taco Shop.
More than just great Mexican food. Ew. Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi, bitch.
Welcome back to our podcast where sometimes we have beverages. Do you want to have one with me today?
Yes.
Yes?
Jacob doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He's mad that I put
You
the
stole his
kibosh on his inappropriate words
I disagree
to
with
open the
both of you.
podcast.
Well, if this is your first time here, we're not allowed to have fun.
Yeah. We've got 2 pod Nazis now instead of 1. Lame as fuck.
I just didn't want you to open the podcast.
It's lame as fuck.
The fucking Gestapo.
Do you know what this podcast is called?
No.
No fun, read a book.
Yeah.
This is Customer Estates Podcast, where we talk about...
If we're allowed to talk about everything in
Okay.
the automotive industry. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you go... Get it out.
Oh, no, please continue.
Get it out. This
Fuck
is for
me.
you. This is your event time. Come on. Who are you? I'm Allie Paul. I'm a warranty administrator. Who the fuck are you?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who does? Who
I'd
are
have
you,
more
Mike?
fun jumping into a bush of cactuses.
Wait.
Cacti.
First
Cacti.
of all, get the plural right. Second of all, a bush of cactus?
Eric, I feel like it
gathering
was
of
perfect
cacti.
just the way it was.
Thank you,
Gathering of
Jacob.
You're welcome.
God forbid we sit here and correct everybody constantly throughout the episode.
God forbid.
We're really having like a chill and loving vibe this week. So,
Brought to you by Mike and Allie.
well...
That was sarcasm for those of you who didn't pick up on that.
I don't think anyone didn't pick up on it. No, I'm just saying.
Who's that sexy bear over there?
He won't tell me because he's a sad baby.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
My name is Jake, and I'm here because I have to be.
What do you do?
Who gives a shit? Mike, you're up.
I care.
Tell Eric what you do.
Eric knows what I do.
Eric, ask him what he does.
I know what he does.
He knows what I do. Mike, you're up. If you don't know who I am, go back and listen to the other episode.
If you don't know, now you know. I'm not going to
Norman,
My name is Mike. I am a internal service advisor and shop foreman.
when will you get to be an external
When I
service
graduate
advisor?
next month. Eric.
Oh, I felt something coming on and it didn't.
Oh, you were trying to hold it.
Eric. Who are you, Eric?
Hello, I'm Eric.
Oh, okay.
Apparently.
But what's your name, Eric?
Allegedly.
Yeah, Eric.
Joaquin.
I don't know why that's funny.
Eric, what do you do in the automotive industry and for how
Me
long?
amo
Fuck me.
Eric.
I didn't say that.
Blow me.
Okay. Me amo Eric Montenegro. Y soy un mecánico
Muy bonito.
cada 6 años.
Do you feel bonita?
Stupid.
I feel bonita.
Me llamo Jessica. Those are words.
No, it's not.
God.
Any gays, welcome to the podcast. No, we all love you and we love each other. We're just having a little bit of fun.
Call the police.
Blink twice if you need help.
Wait, it's a podcast. What am I supposed to do?
Well, I can see you.
Oh, okay. The phone can see me. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
What are you doing? What's happening? I was about to explode. Okay, maybe it's AM FM. I don't know.
That's what I was going to get
Maybe
into, but I was trying to help her with her
clarification.
sneeze.
She has to cough. Please, it's okay.
You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Well, we're waiting.
There it is.
Fantastic.
I was trying to get you guys
Yes.
to like talk.
So I had
Maybe it's AM/FM?
Yeah.
That's not my story.
It's mine.
Sorry. Well, I was getting Jacob to prompt
Shut
him
up
for
so that, yeah.
Prompt him for that.
So I was, it could. Do we want the short version or the long version?
Go for it.
Hit us.
So I had this problematic ancient vehicle that shouldn't have been in our service department, but it was. It was a 2004 model year.
Wow.
Grand Cherokee with the V8. It had an oil leak.
No kidding.
Oh, well. I chased this oil leak for quite some time. The customer in 2 years drove 7,600 miles.
Okay.
Wow. That's impressive.
That's nothing.
When it was in, 2.5 years ago. When it was in 2.5 years ago, they did
Jesus.
valve cover gaskets, oil pan gasket, water pump, radiator, bunch of shit that it needed. The vehicle only has like 130 some odd thousand miles on it.
20-year-old car.
It came in with an oil leak, and then I was like, it's a fucking oil pan again. I don't know. I put an oil pan gasket in it. An oil pan gasket in it. Came back from the road test. It's still leaking. Fuck. I inspected the pan and the block before I installed it. There was nothing wrong with it, so I pulled them out again and cleaned it with the die grinder this time. Reinstalled it. Still leaking. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, okay, well, it's coming from the back of the bell housing. And I had looked in there with my mirror, and I know that the rear main was bone dry. So I had to pull the trans to look and see if maybe there were oil galley plugs up there. Yes, there are oil galley plugs up there. They were both dry. The oil is coming from the pan still. PCV system.
Oil galley plugs.
They're just plugs in the side of the engine that plug holes through there.
There's like all
Oh, and
these
so oil
passages.
can leak from there.
Yeah, all these passages.
They're
where
not
high
supposed to
pressure oil-
leak from there.
Okay.
It's just part of the machining process of the older engines. PCV system, right? That's the next thing I could. It's still coming out of the pan gasket.
Sure. Yeah.
Fucking throw a PCV valve in it. Still fucking leaking. Cool. So the way this engine is built, it has a bracket on the bottom half of the bell housing that bolts to the block and the transmission. So bolt it up and then back. It doesn't contact the oil pan in any way, shape, or form. And this engine has a bed plate or a upper oil
Cradle
pan.
or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. It bolts directly to that. So I pull that bracket out and reinstall the exhaust so that I can have a clear view of the back of the oil pan to see it leaking out of there, because it's not coming from anywhere else. It's not coming down the sides of the engine. It's not coming nowhere else. It's coming from the fucking pan. I pull that bracket out. I go for a quick road test, come back. It's not dripping anymore. Let me do my road test that I did the past 3 fucking times. So then I took the longer road test that I did the past 3 fucking times, come back, fucking dry.
Oh, it's fixed.
You fixed it, yeah.
Fixed is fixed,
The
I guess.
fucking bracket, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know how. Shop foreman, not a fucking word. Like, he scratched his head as long as I did. So what the fuck
Putting
ever.
A weird amount of pressure on part of the ceiling surface or something.
Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? Whatever. They drive 7,000 miles in 2 years. They're not gonna fucking need it. The guy's in the hospital anyway, so whatever. So
I hope he feels better soon.
pulling the trans, I had to disconnect the battery. So doing the right thing, I getting ready to pull the car up front. Let me fix his clock for him, right? So this is one of those clocks that require a ballpoint pen to reset the time.
Yeah, because it's so freaking old.
So I'm resetting the time.
Like a fucking Tamagotchi.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The reset button.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh God, you're taking me back. So I'm resetting the time on it. little industry secret, if you will. For me, if I have to reset the customer's clock, I always put it 5 minutes fast.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, all of my clocks are 5 minutes.
Mine are too, but I do it for everybody. So I'm resetting it, and I'm like, it still says AM. Like, it's 4:30 in the afternoon. Why the fuck does it? So I go through the hours, go past 12 o'clock, and it still says fucking AM. I'm like, there's no other buttons here to change it from AM to PM. Like, what the fuck? And the assistant service manager is sitting there, and he's watching me, and he's like, and he thought about it for a second. He's like, maybe it's AM, like AM, FM. And I push the power button, and the AM goes off. Fuck. That's it. That was my exact response. In my defense, it didn't show a radio station. It only showed that it was on AM.
Interesting.
On the digital screen. It just said AM. It didn't say 1070 or 98, what the fuck ever. It said AM time. But yeah, I was like, that's fucking good. I'm putting that in my podcast notes. Thank you for that.
We all get defeated from time to time, and thank you for sharing that with us.
Shout out to Reed.
Yeah, being humble.
It was good. It was funny. But anyways, it took me about 2 weeks to figure out.
So on kind of silly, stupid shit like that, I had a older pair of ladies, I guess would be the
I have a pair of ladies.
yes, that pulled into my service drive today. And there's a very old lady in the passenger seat and a older lady in the driver's seat.
Good Lord.
And they pull up, and I'm the only one in the office at the moment, so I walk out. It's a brand new CX-5, brand spanking new. And I start to walk around to the driver side, and they roll down the passenger window, so I skirt back over. And I go, hi, what can I help you with? And they go, well, our phones aren't charging in, the CX-5. We've got it plugged into USB. It's not working. And I know it's new enough where it's got CarPlay and all that stuff. So
Right.
I checked the one lady's who is in the passenger seat, and it wasn't pushed all the way in. So fix that. CarPlay pulls right up. Phone starts charging. No problem.
Wasn't plugged all the way in.
Yeah. And then the other lady, this was the fun one. And she goes, well, I know mine's plugged all the way in. She's like, I know how this works. I'm like, like, okay.
Hold up.
So she goes, here, let me get out so you can check. She's like, but I know I have it plugged in right. Okay. So I look in her center console, and she's got one of the newer iPhones. Mm-hmm. So I see that it's plugged into the iPhone, the lightning cable side. Okay. Follow the cord all the way. And she, I shit you not, has a USB-C shoved into a USB port. And it's just...
Oh, how cute.
And it's just floating in there. And I remove it, and I hold it, and she goes, why did you unplug it?
Unplug it. Someone come get their grandma.
And I'm holding it like this, and I'm like, this is the wrong connector. She's like, no, it's not. Like, ma'am.
Who the fuck? Bitch?
I'm like, ma'am.
So that's when you unplug the other one.
I did. I'm like, ma'am, yes, it is. So I unplug her friends, and I go, this is the correct plug. This is not. She goes, so it was just shoved in there? Precisely.
You did this.
Precisely.
You did this, Tammy.
She goes, well, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, okay.
How does that not make any sense?
I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, this is the cord you have to go get, and then your phone will start charging.
Yeah.
So she goes, well, even if I plug it into hers, it doesn't work. So we plug in her correct.
Now that it's plugged in.
her friend's correct one.
What happened?
And I plug it. It doesn't work.
Oh.
Like, okay, but it connects, and then if you have an iPhone, it does a little zzz, if it kind of does the connected, not connected thing. And I go, ma'am, I'm pretty sure it's your port or it's your phone. This is trying to connect, but it's not. And she's like, no. I'm like, okay.
Plug your phone in.
Ding.
That was Jake plugging in his phone.
Ma'am, it's charging. It's your phone.
Yeah.
oh, this is a Mazda issue. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, okay,
never heard of anything
I don't
like this before.
Okay, that's fine, ma'am. I'm like, this is what you need. I'm like, that will make it work fine. You need to go to wherever your carrier is and tell them that your port is fucked up.
Wait, how did you not laugh your fucking ass off when you saw that?
Because he was so
connector?
fucking annoyed.
Because you can't.
Because he's a
Because he was so annoyed.
He's a professional.
Because you can't. Why were you raising your hand?
I was annoyed too. Like I didn't find it funny. I found it fucking
I
annoying.
think it's fucking
I would have
funny.
been pissed. Oh, because I had a similar situation, but with my mother. With her Lexus, she calls me. She's like, "What was it? Her Apple CarPlay wasn't coming up." Like, okay, try another cable. Do you have an aftermarket cable? Yes. Okay, we'll get a factory one. I ordered her factory one. Came. She's like, "It's still not working." Fine. I ended up going out there that following weekend for whatever reason. So I go there and sure as shit, it's not working. I'm like, okay, well, you should probably go to Lexus and have them. You have an extended warranty. It's still under basic, I'm pretty sure too. Long story short, she goes to the dealership and he peels off her phone case and bing.
Oh, she has like a fancy case.
A cheap case, and it was, but it's weird because she's had that case for a really long time and it's never been an issue until now. So
And that's always
Whatever.
the answer. Well, it's been fine up until today.
I thought it was her case. That's why I said that.
PSA, you guys, everyone look at their little charger holes on their phone and clean all of your pocket lint out of it.
I pulled out so
That's
much
not pocket lint. That's fucking dead skin.
It's a bunch of diff, but I pulled out so much shit the other day. It was like probably enough to fill a thimble.
Mine didn't have any because I keep mine in my purse.
And mine's in my pockets.
Yeah, I cleaned mine out, I think 2 weeks ago when I dropped
Look
it
in your hole, Mike. Is your hole clean?
My hole's very clean, I'll have you know.
That's good to know.
I dropped my phone in a vat of coolant the other day.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
How's it working?
I like
Very
a dumbass. I know. Stupid.
Wait, what did you?
That
I
was
didn't
funny.
hear.
You said very chill.
Very good.
That was funny. I know better, and I sometimes forget and put it in my shirt pocket.
No, oh god, no, that's a
Yeah,
And then you bend over.
every tech fucking knows.
Don't do
you
that.
never put your phone in your shirt pocket or your vape. And I fucking was in the engine compartment. Guess where it went?
I dropped my vape in the bathtub the other day. Yeah.
Was it smoking afterwards?
No, it was fine.
You try to do the
I just
toaster
let it
dance in
air
the
out a
bathtub?
little
The
bit.
toaster thing. I'm not quite ready for the full commitment. We'll start small.
I've told you guys
It's like
about the
10 unit
last
of-
bath bomb, right? I've told you guys about that.
Your final bath bomb.
It's the last bath bomb. There's these little bath bombs in the shape of the toaster, and they're called the
that's
last bath bomb.
Fucking hilarious.
They're super cute.
I love it.
If you or a
wish I
loved
would've
one is
thought of
struggling
it.
with mental health, call someone.
Yes, in all seriousness.
My wife got me a toaster for Christmas. It's just weird that she threw it in the bathtub.
Jesus.
Okay.
Next one's you, Mikey.
Yeah, who's 2 weeks?
Okay, so this one's me.
It's going to take about 2 weeks to tell the story.
I'm going to try and condense it.
I'm kidding.
So I haven't told any of you guys this, and by that I mean my audience right here. I've been having a problem.
Or the listeners.
Or the listeners. I've been having a problem at work for the past like week or so, just about 2 weeks, and events have led me to come to the realization that maybe it's time for me to move on. And so I had this issue where I'll just be very vague. One of our service advisors gave us 2 weeks, which I wasn't worried about. And I had another technician I had another person that I knew that was qualified and looking for a job. And so I tried to, say, hey, do you want to come interview for this job? We got a job for you. Well, come to find out that, they like the person that I handpicked and recommended so much that they wanted to try and give that person my job and make me go back to working on cars again. So there's a lot of things to be said about that.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah, how dare you? But also, like, me as a technician, I still feel and think like a technician. Like, I could still go work on cars, but I don't really want to
Not
at
the
this
point.
point.
Yeah.
But the whole fact of the matter is, I found this guy out of nothing and like handpicked and selected him to you, telling you that he was going to be good for this position, and then you go back on me and say,
Actually, we think he'd be better for yours.
yeah, well, no, we're just gonna have him do your job, and you can go back to being a tech. And it wasn't even, he was gonna do. I was still gonna be the shop foreman, but he was going to do
the writing.
internal writing as well. So now you're telling me that the guy's gonna be doing all of the lube stuffs, like the quick service, or a quick lube advisor.
Clean.
Okay.
He's also going to be doing all new and used cars. And come January 1st, he's also going to be doing all electric vehicles, because we have to have a dedicated advisor for electric vehicles come January 1st. You've got to be insane.
Yeah.
The job that I do just as an internal advisor for new and used cars is literally a full-time job. This is why we had a full-time person doing that before.
Right.
And she worked, she did a lot. A lot. So that was one thing that was like a big slap in the face. And then it was like, I have to decide like whether I want to, block my buddy from getting a job that he needs versus me continuing to work at the company.
Well, do you even have any say, like, in this matter?
So when
You should, but
when I told them all the points that I made of like, you're asking him to do 3 different writing jobs, it's like it's not possible. And they were trying to like ask me, well, how many minutes does it take to write an RO for a used car? I'm like, it's not how
If
many
you
minutes
have
it
to
takes to
ask-
write that RO. It's the entire amount of the day that you have to go through and follow up with a technician, get the parts, do this, modify the repair order, close out the repair order. I mean,
See if there's approvals.
and I threw out some stupid number like 20 minutes, because I mean, realistically, it takes me about 5 minutes or
minutes per
so
RO.
to write the repair order. And then, if it's an easy one, but that's not every RO. And then I'm chasing down the car and I'm doing this and like all the other. So anyway, I digress. So they're telling me that this is probably going to happen, and I tell them, listen, I don't really know that I want to work on cars anymore. It's not about whether or not this guy gets my job. I just don't know that I want to go work on cars. Oh, well, it'd only be for a little bit. I'm like, you guys have told me like this a number of times. It doesn't really matter. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to go back to work on cars right now. I'm not ready to do that right now. I've gotten really good at this thing. I've been, changing the operation codes and going through and adjusting all the numbers so that everything works out properly because of the things that people have told me of how the things work. And like, I mean, I've gotten pretty good at this position. I don't want to give that up yet because I've, honed it down.
I know a place where you could come work.
Stop.
Come on over.
Mike, I completely understand what it
you get rid of
feels
the other
like to be
mic, you
fucking overlooked and fucking promised and all that crap. I feel your pain, bud.
So check this out. The last couple of days were like my, the straw on the camel's that broke the camel's back, right? And I literally drafted a 2 weeks notice after talking to.
Gasp.
So after talking to 3 different managers, two of which don't work for my company, but I know, and a couple of other people, they all told me the same thing that I was thinking is like, if you allow them to do that to you, like, you're insane for still working there, because obviously they don't they're not valuing you or they're not listening to you. Like, and that's the biggest thing, is that they're not listening to you. You have these ideas. They're not wrong. Almost everything you say is correct. If they're not listening to you, then that's the wrong style of management. Maybe you shouldn't work for that company.
Right.
Maybe you're better used somewhere else. So now, like,
Sounds about right.
I have to like think about like, oh my God, so now I have to go work somewhere else. It's way far away from my house. I may not be able to come home and hang out with Koa for lunch and like
Why?
do all my
There's
normal
15
things.
places around
But
there.
I want to still be I want to still be a Ford technician or a Ford representative. I like Ford Motor Company, and to be the senior master thing, that's like cool for me still for whatever reason. So after I I have some deep breathing moments and meditations and thinking about all these things and like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I come in the next morning to find out that the general manager no longer works at that store.
Second guess.
Hallelujah.
And now,
So you're starting anew.
yes, I'm starting anew. And now I realize that not only do I not have to worry about losing my job to this guy, but I also know that now I can tell my service manager, which I did, that we're not going to move forward with this specific person, unfortunately, which I feel bad about.
The one who's your buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're going to go with somebody else who's not a threat to my position. Basically, I was hiring.
Yeah.
I was basically hiring my replacement. He does the place that he worked at before. He was the shop foreman, the master technician, and the internal advisor. I was literally hiring my replacement, and I didn't think about it at the time because I just thought that he was going to be like a different writer. I was trying to help him out. He needed a job. He wanted to work. He's a great candidate. But if I'm going to be hiring somebody that's my competition,
Did he try it to get your
no, absolutely
job?
not. No, he
Okay.
did not.
Okay.
He did not at all, and he didn't try to come in to do that. But when he's, during the interview when he started talking about his qualifications, he's great. He's great. He's me. But I'm not trying to hire me because I'm already there.
You're you.
I am there. That's my spot. So unfortunately, that was like another tough choice of like, if I got to choose, it's going to be me. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to stay.
It's gonna be May.
Thank you, Justin.
You're welcome.
So good.
Well,
I'm going to
it
their
was a lot
concert
to
because
take
they
in
will
at tea
tour.
time.
It's all your fault.
I know. I know.
That was it was very emotional. I mean, I'll close it with like, if anybody's ever had like hard emotions leaving a place and not like happy emotions, like, fuck this place, I'm out of here. But like, you've teared up trying to like draft a 2 weeks notice. That was my like last 4 days. It was
Well, how long have you
really,
been
really bad
there in that building?
in that physical location? It'll be 16 years next March. So
That's
15 and a half years or so.
Fucking wild.
Yeah.
You only have 3 years on me.
That's fucking wild.
It's wild.
Oh my god. Jacob,
But
I'm still not convinced that I need to draft one up.
Well, you could always have one on file.
I do.
there you go. You could like have it at the
To
ready.
whom it may concern makes it
Just
even
like-
better.
Every time you're really pissed off, just
As
like
per my last
change
email.
it. Yeah.
put it in a frame with a piece of glass and a hammer attached to it, and break in case of emergency.
How to professionally say, wake up and do your job, fucknut, as per my last email.
And the funniest thing too is like I was thinking like, okay, so if I was really gonna do it and leave and like they weren't gonna try and save me and like say, oh well, we'll give you whatever you want to just stay with the company, I was like thinking like, well, there's 2 ways you could take it: do it gracefully and don't burn your bridges, or
Burn it the fuck down.
just absolutely go
Pour the gas.
wild.
Pour the gas.
Go wild. Like, I don't know.
I'm trying to make it very clear
Don't
to.
forget to light the match.
I've been trying to make
Don't
it
go
very
wild,
clear
guys.
to
Don't go wild.
everybody that
But
I
if
can.
you do, send it to Customer States
No,
Podcast.
no, we don't endorse that. Jacob.
I'm done.
I was listening.
No, you were. I'm good.
I want to hear.
I'm good.
I do too.
Oh, I'm good.
Please.
We can move on. Next story.
It's all her fault, It's all her fault.
Her fault? Yes, it is. I know. It always is our fault. That's what we do as writers. We're just there to take the brunt of it so everybody else can sit back and not have to do shit like that.
It's your fault that lady shoved that charger in that port.
So we
The
did.
wrong charger.
We had a lady that came in. Actually, she's fairly nice. Just, shit like this happens and the switch flips. I get it. It's fine. But, it's always your fault or something. It can't be anything outside of the dealership. Something that you might have done or whoever else drives the vehicle or anything like that. It's, of course, I was just here. So, of course, it's going to be your fault. Part of the job, whatever. So we had a car that was dropped off, or I had a car that was dropped off as an early bird and got the envelope, saw car runs like shit, has a hard time staying running, runs like shit, please fix type of thing. So my tech diagnoses it, turns out that it is the injectors. So we replaced the fuel rail and the spark plugs and a few other things. And sure enough, problem's fixed. No big deal. Customer says, do it. Totally fine. Pays the money. Fix it. Test drive it 25 times just to make sure. Passes with flying colors. Customer picks it up. Today, she shows up. I don't know if she had an appointment or she just showed up. Either way, it was actually that lady that you were talking to me about that we didn't get the signature from. Right after I hung up the phone, she walked into the office. Yeah. What? So that, yeah, it totally random. She's well, like, do you remember this customer? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, we never got a signature. And I said, well, it was an early bird. So, but right as I hung up the phone, she walks in.
Before you begin, I need a signature right here.
Mm-hmm. So she goes, check engine lights back on. And I'm like, is the car running okay? Is there anything you notice? She's like, running completely fine. And I was originally on the phone when she first walked in. So one of the associates I work with grabbed the information.
Associates.
I appreciate that because that's awesome. But I would have checked a couple of different things, which he didn't. He's new. No big deal. No harm, no foul. We give it to the tech. Goes back to the one for a recheck. Runs the code. Small evap leak.
456.
So we go to the fuel door, which
She just filled that.
which we always check first. I open the fuel door and bloop, out completely pops the gas cap.
Wow.
Didn't even like attempt to try and put it back on.
So put it back.
Did you
Take
check
the-
it like mine?
Yes.
Okay, this one actually works.
Put it back on, loose. Took the inspection video, explained it, tightened it, cleared the codes, test drove it 3 times. It's fine. I get a text. I got the video at work. Can't watch it at the moment. What did it end up being? Saying gas cap was loose. And she goes, "You're kidding me." I'm like, "No, gas cap." She goes, "My daughter did just get gas. God damn it." I'm like, "It's okay." So
Happened.
but she goes, "Yeah, okay, I'll pick it up." And she called. She goes, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "You don't have to be sorry. I get it. You spent a lot of money and check engine light came back on. It's how it always happens. It won't be, a year and a half down the road.
Sounds
it's
awfully
gonna
familiar to me.
It's gonna be the other. It's gonna be fucking 2 days. So, but yeah,
Mazdas and their gas caps.
that's all our fault.
Apparently. Yeah. Yep. That's right. At least you didn't have to make a house call.
That is true.
Well, we can do this one real quick. So I alluded to the fact that I wasn't having like a really great time at work recently, so I was in a bad mood, and I believe this was maybe Friday last week, and one of the advisors tells me that we just worked on a F-150 and the customer's broken down and like down the street, and I need to go take a look at it. So I asked the advisor what they did, and they like replaced the carpet. And then I asked like what the concern is, and it's like stuck in neutral. So I asked the technician, I'm like, "Did you have to do anything with the shifter linkage?" And he's like, "Yes." I was like, "Okay,
Obviously.
now I know what I'm doing." So I go and I grab some tools reluctantly because I'm still in that stupid boot because my toe's broken.
The boot.
And flashlight, tools, gloves, rag, just to make sure. And I go down. So, So before I go, I'm asking the advisor, I'm like, "So, where's the vehicle? Where am I going?" "Oh, they're over by the gas station." "Okay, that gas station, yes, but like, are they at the gas station? Are they at the pump? Are they stuck down the street from the gas station?" "Oh, they're over by the soap shop." Where is this vehicle? I need to know a location. You can't tell me it's by something. Where is this customer? You have them on the phone right now. Tell me where the customer is. "Oh, they're over by the gun store." "I know exactly what you're talking about." "Okay, yes, yeah, I'll be right there."
Of course you do.
Yeah. So anyway,
There are feet.
well, I knew based on those places where I needed to go. So anyway, so I go down there and talk to the customer. Pull up and get all my tools out. And the customer comes out of the gun store, and I'm telling him, like, "Give me a few minutes. I'm gonna, I'll take care of it for you. No worries." He's like, "Well, yeah, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna go back inside and continue on with what I was doing." I was like, "Yeah, I'll come find you when I'm done. I kind of want to go inside anyway. And we were talking about like while I was getting my tools out and stuff like that when he came out, we were talking about the shooting stuff that I do. I was telling him like, oh, like I was looking for something anyway, so maybe when I'm done, I'll go in because again, I was already having a bad day. So it takes me like 2 minutes to fix the guy's truck. I throw all my tools back in the car, go inside the shop to go, get through the lock gate, and give the guy his keys back and tell him what happened with the vehicle. And then I said, and if you don't mind, if you're done with that guy, I would like to talk to him about my gun. So Jake, they got a FN57 there.
Nice.
I'm probably gonna get. So anyway, it was very funny. I got to take some like 5 minutes out of my day and give myself a little bit of therapy and go to the gun store and look at cool stuff. It was really, 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 really nice.
Really, 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 really nice.
Really nice. Okay. Well. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I know you don't like firearms.
Stupid.
I'm sorry. It was a gun store story.
I know. That's fine. I'm sure a lot of our listeners appreciated it. I prefer bars, though. Bars.
You got a joke for me?
I do.
Or are you gonna spit bars?
Definitely. I never spit. Stop. Jacob!
Yes, I'm listening.
A polar bear walks into a bar and says to the bartender, "Gin and tonic." The bartender asks, "What's with the pause?" Polar bear responds, "Well, these I've had it my whole life."
Oh my god. But these
That's
You know who would have appreciated that?
our sponsors.
They certainly fucking would have.
Yeah.
I think Nick Lowridge from Matco Tools would have appreciated it. Supplying us with Matco Tools and Milwaukee products.
Well, what about Travis Ferris supplying
Definitely.
us with Justice Brothers products?
I definitely think so. And some kick-ass pens.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, don't forget the pens.
Yeah.
And what about Ray Moon from El Ranchito Taco Shop in Lake Elsinore as well?
Yeah, supplying us with tacos and amazing guacamole dips.
We're going to give Jacob a bowl of that.
We also want to thank Dale Follett, Norman Glazier. You guys rock. Thank you for being the support.
All those peoples. And the one-eyed, one-horned, line purple people. It's spooky season, bitches.
It is.
We'll talk more about that when we come back.
Yes.
Bye.
Hi, Mike Serra here from Customer States. If you're searching for the highest quality additives, lubricants, or cleaners for your automotive, heavy equipment, agricultural, or industrial machinery needs, look no further than the Justice Brothers line of products. From lubing your chainsaw, performing a complete fuel system treatment and decarb service on a customer's vehicle, keeping that forklift forking and lifting, or just need a can of that famous JB80 penetrant to persuade a rusty bolt, Justice Brothers has you covered. Travis Ferris of Hit Distributing is not only Southern California's authorized Justice Brothers distributor, but also a great friend of mine. Over the years, Travis has helped me and my dealership with anything and everything we need, including all the lines of Justice Brothers products and even equipment to perform the various services we may need for our specific application. HIT stands for honesty, integrity, and trust. So you know when you contact Travis, that's exactly what you'll get. That, combined with Justice Brothers supplying superior quality automotive products since the 1940s and 75 years in the racing industry, you will have absolutely everything at your disposal to get the job done. Justice Brothers is proudly made in the USA, and they have a satisfaction guarantee or your money back. Justice Brothers has the best quality products over any other competitor, and they'll gladly tell you that themselves. If you live in the Southern California area, call my man Travis Ferris at 805-208-7818. And if you don't, call him anyway and tell him I said thanks. And visit justicebrothers.com to learn more about their complete line of products. Justice Brothers, America's brand for quality.
Oh. What was off?
Welcome back. Thank you to our sponsors and all that good happy shit. Anybody have anything to crack?
Oh, I do.
I doth.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I have strawberry guava.
I have tangerine.
I still have pineapple.
Pineapple.
Say goodbye to a tangerine sky. Say hello to tomorrow. Nobody?
Wait,
Oh, no.
You, right? You do. You do. Michael.
what is happening?
We're having a winter wedding. I want you to know.
No, we're not. No.
Oh my God. You got it. I'm so proud of you. Listeners, if you know that song, hit me up. Slide in my DMs, please.
That will be the listener poll for this.
Oh, yes. Do you know that song? Oh my God.
Okay, moving forward.
Sorry.
It sounds familiar.
Oh, it took me all the way back to my fucking childhood. All the way.
forward.
And we're all in the same age group here, so.
No, Jake's the baby.
Any gays. Jakey is the baby. My baby daddy.
Cute.
My baby daddy. Tell us about your new paydays.
I found out that I've got weird days that I'm paid. I get paid. So I'm on commission, 100% commission on my new pay, which sucks. But
Is this for all advisors?
all advisors, all the same, which sucks, but it is what it is.
That's gay.
Yeah, it is.
Can't say that.
Well, if he does, it's fine.
Yeah.
So I get paid on the 5th and the 20th. I get paid an hourly rate for all the hours that I've made, minimum wage, and then any overtime is time and a half. And then on the 10th, I get a third check for my commission, and all of my hourly is drawn from that commission check. It's very weird.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any fucking
So
sense.
you don't actually make minimum wage, they take it out of your commission.
Well, I mean, I do, but they have to pay me somehow for the time I'm there, I guess. I don't fucking know.
What? So, I mean, like, you haven't gotten your first paycheck yet, right? Because like
I've gotten 2, but it's the hourly one.
No, but I mean, like,
You haven't gotten your commission
I
check yet.
got my first commission check apparently gets paid on the 10th.
So, like, a normal pay period for most people is like 2 weeks, or like even in a month is how you would gauge what you're, what you're making.
10th
right?
and 25th.
Yeah,
So it'll be the 5th, 10th, and the 20th. It's interesting.
Well, I'd be interested to see what that number is compared to what it was before.
I have no idea because nobody can really give me a straight answer.
It's that new age math, Common Core, or whatever they call it.
Spooky math. Just more bullshit.
That sucks, dude.
I'm used to it.
16.
What are you doing?
I'm calculating the amount of days between paydays for him. 5th, 10th, and 20th. Mm-hmm. You have 20 days between a paycheck? 10th and the 20th. That's 20 days. No, that's 10 days.
10 days.
No, I was thinking of the one after that. That's
Like my old one on the 20th, I'd get my draw check, which was $1,000.
10, 15.
And then on the 5th, I'd get my, commission bonus and salary pay. And then the $1,000 would be removed
I had a ditzy moment.
from that check.
It happens, babe.
As long as the money is like the same or comparable, I think the only thing would be like if you have like auto pay bills like that, like maybe you would have to reschedule those.
Yeah.
So if to wait till the next check comes in.
Yeah.
If it's going to be structured like that, that's great.
So I don't know. Like I said, nobody can give me an answer, and it doesn't really fucking matter because so far this company hasn't done much but give me promises, and I've been fucked again, so it doesn't really fucking matter. I just must hate myself or not give a shit. I haven't figured it out yet.
Welcome to the corporate world and the life that I've been living for the past week and a half or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel your pain, brother. Yeah. I feel your pain. And I know a lot of other people out there have gone through that same exact thing too, which is why one of the reasons why we have this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Indeed. Indubitably.
Speaking of getting fucked,
I was gonna say, if anybody wants a fuck doll, just give me a call. Apparently, I'm good at it. Just lay there and take advantage of me. That's what they do at my job. So anyways, so I've got a techs that right now it's Mazda tech line is, lack of a better term, just employed by idiots. There's a lot of guys who've retired out of the industry who knew what they were talking about, who were old school techs that knew just real knowledge, used to do it for years, and then go on to tech line where they can help with shit like that.
Right.
And most of those guys are gone. And when you find a good one, it's it's like a unicorn. And right now my technicians are dealing with a lot of idiots where it's they're reading from a database. It's you type in a hit word, this pops up, this has happened X amount of times, whatever it is.
It's kind of the same way, but yeah.
Right. You could, try this, and then if that doesn't work, try this. If that doesn't work, try this, even though my technicians who have been doing this longer than they've been alive, most of them, is, instead of this is what it needs, we've diagnosed it, we know it's not this isn't doing what it's supposed to, this is how I checked it, that's not doing what it's supposed to, I've checked it, the only thing left is this. But of course not. And off of this is I've got a lady who's here with a brand new CX-5 2023, and it's got 7,000 miles on it. And she came in with a tire pressure light that will not clear. So my techs, of course, check the TPMS system, go into, the data logger, check all 4 tires, and it's sending data. And they're proper. But there's a code for TPMS sensor 1, TPMS sensor 4. So we replace them. Mm-hmm. There you go. There's your problem. Replace them, put it back. Code still doesn't clear. Same 2 codes, number 1 and number 4. So we swap the tires from the exact same vehicle just to see if it's, same size, same vehicle, throw them on, drive it.
Right.
Still doesn't clear. Only thing left, instrument cluster. Communicates with it. So even though the TPMS is sending the data, instrument cluster is not receiving it,
right.
Won't clear the light. It just reads it. Is there something wrong? Call tech line. Well, did you replace the TPMS? Yeah. Did you swap the tires? Yeah. It's like, okay, do this one last thing. And I forget what it was. So now my tech has to waste more of his time and call tomorrow morning and go, this didn't fucking work, to ultimately, of course, what he told the person what it was is it'll be replace the instrument cluster. So had to put the customer in a loaner and tell her, sorry, it's going to go another fucking day. And we weren't allowed to order it because we haven't gotten it cleared by tech line. And then if we didn't do that, then as soon as we send the claim and Ali tries to claim it, it'll fucking kick it back or some other stupid bullshit. So tomorrow we'll get to order the instrument cluster, and we'll have to send it out to get reprogrammed, and just more wasted time, wasted loaner, and a pissed off customer. So
Yeah, on a brand new vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
yeah, on the new Mazdas, it's nice. The Mazda 3, CX-30, CX-50s, everything but the CX-9s and the CX-5s, because they're on the old IDS system, and the new ones are on the new IDS system.
IDS probably versus FTRS or whatever you're.
So you can program the new instrument clusters on the 3s, the 50s, the 90s, and the 30s. You hop right in, give it the data that it needs, answer a couple of questions, changes the odometer. You're good. On the older ones, send it out to a company in New York. They have to fucking do it because it's a government agency. They send it back to you, and you put the sticker in the door frame.
Huh.
Spec mode.
This vehicle has been modified.
Correct.
Oh my God.
Yes, please add this amount to whatever current odometer reading there is.
What a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible.
And there's a whole separate dumb convoluted claiming process.
Oh, I'm sure, because they couldn't make it simple for you.
Yep. And you don't get to make any money on it too. And there's all kinds of administrative work from the service writer that has to be done. And it's super bullshit.
Yeah, it's never easy.
I respect you.
Fun stuff. My sister-in-law's truck has a problem with the instrument cluster. I was talking to Mikey about that last week. I got kind of an ingenious idea,
Which is?
and semi-fixed it. I took out the chime.
Oh,
You just took
Oh,
it
yeah,
out.
we talked about that. Yeah.
Did we talk about it on the podcast?
No. Eric
No, I
about
talked to Mikey in the sidebar, because on the older F-Series trucks, and the Expeditions as well. Mid 2000s, they had a problem with their instrument clusters where the LEDs would burn out. Specifically, the airbag light. That is a safety hazard.
It is.
That is a very big safety hazard. And so by default, when that happens, the instrument cluster beeps at you incessantly to let you know that you have a light out in the cluster, right?
Okay.
The serviceable bulbs in the cluster are the backlit bulbs. That's it. The LEDs are soldered onto the motherboard. So I was doing research, and there are quite a few solder spots that crack and break on the board. There's certain areas you focus on, and you resolder everything. So I did that. I resoldered everything 4 fucking times.
Wow.
Kind of like my mom's Denali.
Taking this apart. I did that once, and that was a one and done.
You had to do it twice.
The motherboard?
For the back of the instrument cluster that had those 2 burnt out contact points because it was so dim.
I'm pretty sure I just did it once.
No, that one resistor shifted on you and you got all pissed off and you had to do it again.
Oh fuck, I don't remember that. That sounds right, but I don't fucking remember
It just didn't sit right.
Oh god. Oh, it was one of the needles.
Yes.
That's what it was. It was the fucking needles. Which I ran into that problem again, by the way, on this instrument cluster. But I digress. I soldered it 4 times, and including that LED, and the LED is just dead. And you can't get an LED about that big for that cluster. So I unsoldered the chime from the motherboard. The problem solved.
It's like it never happened.
It's like it never happened, but now I have no fucking... The oil pressure is below the L, and at idle, the RPMs are showing 200, and I have to take it back apart again and reset the needles.
Boo.
Which I'm hoping I can do because I had to super glue them together because when I removed them, they shattered in 3 pieces each.
Oh, shit.
So here's to hoping I can get them off without breaking them, because if I do break them, we're going to be installing some blue ones because those are the only ones available through eBay.
Good. It sounds like a custom modification, if you ask me. This came stock with these orange ones, but this one has the blue ones.
They're Mexican. They'll probably like it.
Oh yeah, no, I would like that.
Catch my drift.
See,
See, way.
Oh, delay way.
Any gays?
Do we finally get to talk about how you cope?
Michael, that was your topic last week.
yeah, I mean, so we had hinted on that because I had all these emotions and these things building up, which I couldn't talk about at the time. But we've approached this subject before, and I think it's still like worthwhile to talk about again. Of like when things, when you think things are getting really bad, and you maybe want to quit your job or just you're done with it. Like what are your ways of
How do you release?
yeah exactly well yeah
What? Michael.
like how do you guys deal with that? Because we all have to like de-stress and relieve at the end of the day. It's more than just like taking a shower and having a stretch or playing with your dog or whatever you guys do. Like what are the when it's really extreme, how do you take care of that? I just wanted to see some coping mechanisms for when it gets really bad.
I personally like to not address the problem at all until it finally builds up enough that I have one giant mental breakdown, and then I release everything, and then I do it all over again.
Yeah, disclaimer, that's not
Take it out on other people.
yeah. These are not healthy ways. That's why I'm sad. We're having this conversation is I think that's a real thing.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I had that problem. I wrote after almost 16 years of working at one place. I wrote a 2 weeks notice letter, which is something I never thought I would have to do. I literally thought I would be buried on the site, or die there, but buried on the site.
Yeah.
So
Beneath your bay.
hey baby.
I've been calling my mom a lot lately because she's queen of positivity. Just sometimes it's super annoying. But when I'm sad and I'm like, hey, I just
did
need
this
you to like
hand
lift
for
me
anybody.
up a little bit. She's there. She's there to just be like, you can get through this. You know, you can do it.
But does she always give you like positive things, or like is she's like,
Why-
no, you should, yeah, you should definitely do that.
Why I say so about her mom, but it's everybody. You have a hard time doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing great, sweetie.
I'm doing great, sweetie. Sometimes you just need to fucking hear that too, you know?
Michael, you didn't say how you do. How do
You didn't say how you do.
How do you do? But he introduced the segment.
Well, and then he asked you.
Well, I mean, it was an open forum question. So I guess personally, to start this conversation off, I will
Spark it.
I will work out. I will take Koa out for a walk or to the dog park. I love drumming, so I'll do that and I'll disappear on headphones and drum for a long time.
You were drumming when I got here.
Yeah. Well, that.
I ought to know.
Yeah.
You do?
That was the song I was playing when he came
It's a
up.
good song.
It's a very good song. You don't know. But that's, like those are my ways. It's like a little bit more like a physical thing, I think, just like because you have all that like pent up energy, and for me it's like I like physical energy to like
Bang it out.
release,
Yeah.
and so I look for those things.
You bang it out and release.
Yeah, get out in nature. A lot of people draw or knit or do puzzles or whatever.
Oh, did I tell you? I think
No.
we talked about this when we initially, like, as a family, talked about it off air. But I found a random ass show. It's out of Japan. Okay. But it's in English. Like, it's all dubbed, not dubbed.
Yeah,
It's
dubbed.
It's subtitled in English, but it's meant to be like an English like show. Like they make it so you understand, and it's all these different like spiritual paths. Like they had what's the like it's a
That thing.
style of fighting.
Aikido.
Remember? Yeah, it was all about Aikido, and it was like the most fucking calming show. And it's like different like spiritual practices, but it's not like, hey, do this thing. It's like, hey, this thing exists, and it's just really calm and it's really well produced, and the music
Like
is
an
nice.
instructional video.
Yeah, no, it's like a public access show, kind of like PBS or something, and there's all these different kinds of like activities that talk about different like spiritual practices, and it was really nice because it gives you like little tiny tidbits that you can like apply to your life. And
Interesting.
but it's not really meant to be that. It's like educational, but I really enjoyed that. I will I don't have my phone on me.
Send me the info.
But I will. And I'll bring it back. I'll like post it on Facebook, or I'll put it on
The gram.
it's on YouTube.
Gram.
So it's free to watch.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Is like, what helps you? I mean, maybe something that helps you would help somebody else out there that is going through something difficult.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Buenos Aires? That's what I heard.
Interesting.
I cope by pretending I like my job. That seems to help.
Fake it till you make it's a thing.
Hey, I was in your shoes up until this morning. So trust me, have been there, will be there again. It's just part of life.
So the GM thing happened today.
Yeah. In real time for us right now today, it happened this morning. So it happened late yesterday, which is crazy because we're planning a well, I guess it doesn't matter at this point, but we're planning a pizza party. Well, it's actually a taco truck, but we call them pizza
Ooh,
parties.
fun.
So yeah, we got like a
Celebrating
taco
that
truck
your
coming by.
GM's gone.
Ding dong, the witches stand.
No, old boss is always a dick until you meet the new boss. But
But he was genuinely a dick.
so we had this money saved up. It had been a long time since we had done something like this for the employees, and we needed to do it. So,
Travis Ferris needs to do his gig again.
dude, that was great. Yeah, thank you.
missed
Travis.
that.
Thank you. Anyway, so we're fine. We're gonna hire this taco truck. We figured out a day. I have the money. Like it's all good. And then I tell the GM, I'm like, yeah, so it's gonna be this day. He's like, oh man, I'm gonna be out of town. Like, is there any other way that we can do like another day? And I was, I go back and I talk to my service manager, and I'm telling him like, do you think that there's a way that we can do this? How many people have you told that we're doing this already? Like, if nobody else knows that it was going to be for this Friday, it's not a big deal. But if everybody knows it's going to be for this Friday and we reschedule it, it's going to be a problem. And he's like, oh, dude, people know already. I'm like, fuck it. So I go in and I tell him like, hey, yeah, I'm sorry, but unfortunately it's going to be, you're not going to be around for this one. We'll catch you on the next one. He had no idea. Apparently, that this change was coming. And again, I don't think it's necessarily a change for the worse for him. I think that they just, his talents are needed somewhere else. I'm sorry. That's the way that I choose to look at it. I think that his talents were needed somewhere else.
He doesn't have any of those.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Maybe
He
so.
doesn't have any of those.
Talents.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Any gays?
that's the way I try to look at things positively, which is, I think, one of the things of how you cope with things.
I think we need to lighten up the
Positively.
fucking mood in here. I am depressed, and I'm sure our listeners are too.
Do you have
Why?
a joke?
This
Another
episode
joke?
fucking sucks.
Why?
You have another joke?
Just saying.
Why?
Why? Because nobody's fucking participating, and we can hear all the grim in everybody's fucking voice. Let's lighten it up a little bit, shall we? Why don't monsters eat ghosts? Because they taste like sheet.
Okay.
That is compliments of our listener, Jesse.
Jesse.
Oh, that came from somebody else. Okay.
Thank you, Jesse.
That did. Thank you, Jesse. We really
Thank you,
appreciate it. I told him that I would add that to the board for this week, and we would shout him out.
That is a
Thank
very
you.
good one.
He made it a point to misspell my name thrice in the messages.
With
Did
a
you
K.
do CK?
No, he spelled it 3 different times, 3 different ways.
Oh.
It was intentional.
Okay.
It was definitely
That's
intentional.
fun. Was there a CH in there?
No, this last one was with an X.
An X.
Okay, it was
that's
it
really
was
inventive.
intentional.
ERIX.
Oh.
Eric's.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's multiple.
X.
X.
It's fine. I thought it was funny.
It's funny.
I said I wasn't going to log back in, but I'm logging back in because he had made
This
a
looks like a
comment
vendetta thing.
before. No. Looking back, he actually misspelled it 4 times because the first message was Eric, E-R-I-C, comma, Eric, E-R-I-K, comma, Eric, E-R-I-C-K, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Oh, so he was just trying to get it right at least one time. That's what it was.
I don't think that's what the case was because in the next message it was E-R-I-X. He was being funny.
The ha-has.
He said, start here. Pod question / topic. What are some of the things you guys have royally effed up in the industry? And then he told me the joke. And then he went on to his story, which, Jesse, I thoroughly enjoy you being our listener, and we appreciate the joke. But yours was a rookie move.
We all have them, don't we?
We do. We all. I had a rookie move today.
I'm here for this.
Was
right
it
now.
AM or FM?
That was last week.
No.
That was. I feel like that was an honest mistake.
Yeah, I'm saying that's my point. My point is not to throw shade at anyone.
No, this was a rookie move.
Okay,
I'm being a shady
You're
bitch.
throwing shade.
I love you, Jesse. I do.
I'm here for
I had to give you a hard time though. So, the worst, and Mikey, I think you'll appreciate this.
I'm dying.
Don't do that.
die.
Please.
Wow. In unison, everybody.
Don't
Don't die.
Die. Don't.
The worst mistake I can think of currently was throwing a grenade into a new engine. V10, 6.8 liter, in a commercial chassis. It was a Cintas uniform van. Came in with a misfire, dropped a valve on cylinders 9 or 10, damaged the head and block, installed the long block. 3 miles into my test drive, I developed a misfire that quickly got worse. Removed the spark plug and found it was mangled. Turns out you're supposed to replace the intake manifold after a catastrophic engine failure.
See?
Because parts can fly back into the intake and destroy the new engine. Installed another new engine and
Replacing it.
intake manifold. I'm sorry. That gave me a good laugh. Jesse, we appreciate you very much. Thank you for having the balls to admit when fuck up.
This is a safe place. It's okay.
It is a safe space. And I can say I have not done a mistake to that magnitude. But shut up, Michael. But I had a bit of a rookie move yesterday. So I'm replacing the high pressure fuel system on a Diesel Ram 1500. Which is the equivalent of the Ford F-150 or the Mazda. Oh, wait.
No,
No.
no, not
Or
even
the
close.
Volks. Oh, wait.
A B series.
You are spicy tonight, my friend.
No, not even a B series. It's larger than that.
Yeah, but it's the closest thing.
Yeah. All right.
Fucking no. Okay.
So this Diesel 1500 grenaded the high pressure fuel pump, as they tend to do on a regular basis. I think I'm on my 5th one in 3 months. So
what, like the 6, 7? Are you okay?
yeah, I'm good. So I replaced the high pressure fuels. This truck has been a pain in my fucking ass, and not in a good way, because I usually like that pain in my ass. But that's beside the point. I was replacing the in-tank lift pump or fuel pump because there is no secondary fuel filter on this truck. Like the Fords, you have a primary fuel filter and a secondary for the return fuel.
Yeah.
For guess what? Why? In case a high pressure fuel pump grenades and decides to send metal back to the tank, the filter catches it. These systems don't have that. So you have to replace the in-tank pump and thoroughly clean the tank to get all the metal debris out. So I was replacing, anyways, that's neither here nor there.
All the debris.
Yeah, the debris. So I had my fuel pump resting on the table on top of the box, and a large gust of wind decided to come by and blow my in-tank pump, which is also the fuel level sending unit, and it hit the floor. And for those of you who don't know what it looks like, Google it. It has a little tiny
Nipple.
arm on it with a float, kind of like in your toilet, but much thinner, that is attached to the sending unit by plastic. Guess what that plastic does?
Snap.
Broke right off.
Sure did. The only nice thing about the sending unit is that part is not serviceable in the parts catalog, but it is serviceable.
So you find another one that was recently replaced for something else.
That just came out of that tank.
Oh.
And unclipped it from the old one and clipped it onto the new one. You have to transfer the wiring loom, and when I say that, it's more of a jumper, if you will. It's got a connector that
I'm wearing a jumper.
Yes. See.
funny, very funny. For those of you who don't know what's going on, Allie is wearing a romper today.
Give your balls a tug, tit fucker.
So the connector goes up into the top of the fuel pump housing, if you will, where the main connector connects to it from the outside. And then one goes into the electric pump that's at the bottom of the sending unit, right? And then it has 2 wires that come off to the level sensor. I was 99.9% positive. I put it back together, went to start the truck, it wouldn't start. Just crank. I'm like, fuck, man, I'm sure I primed it enough. And then I thought back to because I'll start to backtrack in my mind and think about what I was doing.
Right.
And I was pretty sure I got distracted when I was plugging shit in and I didn't plug that pump in. Which means that I have to drop the fucking tank again. Not too bad to drop on these trucks. It's fairly small. So I drop the tank again. I pull the sending unit out. Motherfucker's plugged in. I think I was more frustrated because I had to pull the pump again on this goddamn truck. But that was my rookie move. I'm like, that's a fucking, like, I didn't plug in the fucking, are you kidding me? Luckily that wasn't the case, but it ended up being 2 reasons. 3
Thrice.
reasons. One, the battery didn't have enough juice in it to crank the engine fast enough to build up enough high pressure to start the engine.
Okay.
Two, in the workshop manual, the fuel lines that you replace on top of the engine, and I'm not talking about just the hard tubes, and I'm not talking about just the return line that comes back that's rubber as well. You have to replace the supply lines as well from the pump itself, because it's mounted externally, that go to the rail.
There was just a bunch of air in the system. Is that what you're trying to?
No. These lines can connect to either port on the high pressure fuel pump. The two lines.
What?
The workshop manual does not show you a photo of these lines and how they're installed or removed. There's not even a section to service them because they're each maybe about 1.5 feet long, right? That connect onto the high pressure fuel pump and then the driver's side fuel rail. And then on the other side, the other line is going back to the fuel tank. It's the return line.
What? That's
It's
insane.
asinine. So I kind of installed them how they kind of fell into place, if you will.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they were backwards. Mistake number one. Number two, because the first one was battery. Number two, corrected that. Motherfucker still won't start. But watching my live data, I was finally getting up to like almost 700 PSI. Truck needs 4,500 to start. Okay, I'm getting somewhere. Shop foreman just happens to be walking by and starts to be nosy. And he's like, oh, I see fuel dripping from my... I'm like, the fuck you do? He's on top of the engine. And he gets his magnet and he points to a section on the passenger side on the near the number 3 injector. I'm like, it's bone dryer. I pull off the insulator. I'm looking. I'm like, there's nothing dripping. No, I saw something. There's nothing fucking dripping there. You're smoking crack. And he just walks away grumbling, silent, like... He's like, I know I saw something. I'm like, there's nothing dripping there. So I put my apprentice inside the truck and I go up and I'm like, as I go up, I see fuel dripping from the bell housing. I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool. But I trace it up to the driver's side. And I have my apprentice crank it. And long story short, I found that one of the flare nuts was not tight. That went to the left side fuel rail. So, the shop foreman did not see fuel dripping because of the area he was looking. He was imagining fucking things. But it turns out there was fuel dripping just on the opposite side of the engine that he couldn't see. Tightened up my flare fitting and the bitch fired right up. Hallelujah. Your problem solved. And that was a rather large tangent about one of my fuck-ups, if you will. See, Jesse, I can admit it too.
Everybody makes mistakes. It's
Indeed.
okay.
Indeed.
Just make sure.
I'm sure
that
I've
you
talked
learn
about it
from them.
before.
I have a pretty terrible / good one, but we're getting towards the end here, so I think we're gonna have to TBD to be continued.
To be
TBC.
discussed.
TBC, thank you.
Oh, I like TBD.
TBD still works. To be
TBD is
discussed.
to be.
I didn't think about that either. That works.
Yeah.
So
no, I like
you guys
that.
think
Yeah.
about yours, and then we'll to be discuss the.
Michael does
Fuck
not
ups.
make mistakes.
No, you
is not
you
true.
have to present one.
My biggest fuck
can
up?
be when you're a
Mine's
baby.
quick. I took this job.
Oh, come on.
That's
You
pretty.
love
That's
it.
up there.
That's
You
too
love
easy.
it.
That's up there.
Come on.
Specific moments, people. Specific moments.
I'll have one for next week.
Yeah, we'll put that in the listener poll or question.
See, Jesse, you created a whole
Thank you, Jesse.
plethora
Yes,
of
thank you.
We
stories and topics.
love the listener interaction. We literally we love it. You know,
We may not get back to you right away.
Listeners, please.
But we will.
Yeah, we will eventually,
Reach
and we
out.
apologize.
Question, topic,
Jokes.
We're only human.
jokes, pictures of carnage. Love it. Love it.
Indeed.
Hot sauce.
Love it.
Hot sauce. No.
Yeah, you ready? You guys want to do some Satan's Blood again?
Eric has never been initiated.
Eric is not going to be initiated.
Eric had the chance twice.
No, he didn't.
And thrice.
Did?
I don't recall that.
Well, definitely one time I remember.
I was
I know one
initiated.
time.
I was initiated with the Malort.
No, that was just a fun thing
That
we
was
did.
fucking
Malort
revolting.
doesn't count. That's
So was the hot sauce. That was just a fun thing you did.
No, that was physically pained me.
Physically pained.
Physically pained. Thank you to our sponsors, Nick
Thank you.
Lowridge from Echo Tools and Milwaukee Products. We appreciate y'all.
Hang out.
Yes, and Travis Fair surprising us with
Surprising
his
us.
wonderful Justice
With his
Brothers
wonderful what? Oh,
Pens.
products,
Pens.
Justice Brothers products and pen. Am I doing something wrong?
he
I'm
said
sorry.
he's surprising
Travis.
us with his wonderful.
Pens.
And then you cut me off.
Well, listen to how that sounds.
Oh, like with his.
Wonderful.
No one was thinking that except for you.
Pens.
Jake thought it too.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Pen 15.
Pen 15.
Pen 15.
Pen 15. Thank you. Thank you to the Guac Man.
Raymond Moon.
Ray Moon.
I love his name so much.
It's not
Ranchito Taco
Ray
Shop.
Moon.
Lake Elsinore.
I never say Ray Moon.
I know. Remember how for the longest time I thought you were trying to say
Ray
Ray
Yes.
Moon.
Ray Moon. 2 words. Ray Moon. And everybody else who listens and helps us out. Norman Glazier, Dale Follett. We appreciate all of you.
Bruce Vane for these amazing
Dang,
tunes.
you're such a fucking badass. We appreciate the time and effort you put into this.
This should be on the radio. Like, I love this song.
We need to copyright this shit.
I'm pretty sure it is, right?
This is Property Customer States Podcast.
TMTM.
Where you can find us, customerstatespodcast.com, customerstatespodcast@gmail.com.
Go to Google,
And Google.
We did.
type Customer States Podcast.
We didn't go through with our plan.
No, we didn't.
That's okay. We had fun with
We'll
it.
do it next week.
It was timed perfectly anyways.
We'll do it next week.
Indeed.
And with that, we say,
You're doing great, sweetie.
Love you.
Hi, this is Mike Sarah from Customer States. Matco Tools is one of the best tool companies in the industry, and Nick Lowridge is one of the best Matco tool distributors. Nick can get me anything I need for the shop or for at home. From oil drain pans to beef jerky, Nick's got what I need on tap. Nick works in the Thousand Oaks, California area, and you too can get whatever you need by calling him at 805-796-7323. And if you're not in that area, call him anyway and tell him you heard about him from the Customer States podcast. And then you can hop on to matcotools.com and find a Matco Tools distributor near you. Matco Tools. Service, trust, results.